Right. Hi, everyone. It looks like we're live, but it always takes a minute for it to actually go live and for me to see everything is working. So I am just going to wait until my devices actually showcase that I'm live. Hi, and welcome to Tuesday's Live. Here I am on my laptop. Now I'm just waiting for my phone. Let's see here. If I need to do a little refresh on my phone, give me, oh, there it goes. Perfect. Okay. Well, hi and welcome to Tuesday Live with Pinkfresh Studio. Today's a card making live, and I am excited to see her. I am seeing some of your beautiful names in the live chat, so I can officially say that I am live. So, welcome, friends. We are super excited for you guys to join us today. Hi, everyone in the chat. We're so happy that you're here. Um, So welcome. So today, of course, I'm going to be doing a card with our new press plates that just released yesterday. These work with the Spellbinders BetterPress Letterpress system. So we will also be using that, of course. And I'm excited to just share another idea and another letterpress card with you today. So Heather has joined us. She is the person typing behind the Pinkfresh Studio name in the comments. So that is my partner in crime, Heather. So Heather is great about answering questions that it's possible I will miss once we start creating. So I don't catch everything once I get this camera flipped around and I am creating a card with you. So that's why our moderator in the sky, Heather, is joining us to be there to answer questions, filter out if we happen to get any spam or anything like that in the comments, get rid of those guys. Doesn't happen very often, but occasionally. And just to also hang out. So, uh, before we get going, let's just talk in general about everything that is going on currently. So, yesterday we replaced our we released our press plate designs. This is our first collection of press plate designs. We're really excited with how they turned out. And then we also released 14 colors of glitter cardstock. So super exciting release. I think most everything is currently still available. I know there are a couple things that are running low. So if those happen to sell out and they were on your wish list, you will just need to wait until the restock comes in. But I think as of what I checked this morning, everything was still in stock. There were just a few things running low. So those released yesterday, press plates and new glitter cardstocks are in our shop available for purchase. Yesterday, the blog hop started. So there is a grand prize of the entire release up for grabs on our blog hop post. And then if you comment along on all of the other blogs in the hop, there are 10 chances to win a $25 gift card code. And we will pull them randomly from all of the comments along the hop. So definitely something you'll want to check out. There's a ton of beautiful inspiration in the hop from our team and the guests that joined us this month. It'll give you a ton of information for the press plates that you might have on the way to you, or if you haven't jumped on the BetterPress train yet, it may just be a little bit enabling. I don't know. I don't know. So then also our YouTube intro video, just going over all of the new products, introducing them, sharing some additional inspiration, also has a grand prize attached to it. And you'll find that on the video section. It's the most recent video here on our YouTube channel. Now, that's not all the fun. Today, our Instagram hop went live. So there's your third chance to win the entire release on our Instagram hop post. And then same as the blog hop, there is a list of people to do hop to. And there are 10 more chances to win a $25 gift card code on that hop. So in total, 3 chances to win the entire release and 20 chances to win a $25 gift card code. So lots going on with the release. So speaking of giveaways, we always give away a $15 gift card code at the end of our lives, and we're going to do that here again today. So the way to for your chance to win is just what you're already doing. Comment along with us in the live chat. You can ask questions. If I see them, I'll answer them. If I don't see them, Heather pretty much catches most of them. If we miss it, we're not ignoring you. Sometimes comments fly, and so we likely just missed it ourselves. Um, Another way to gain an entry into the gift card here today is down below underneath. There is a little tab that has an arrow and it says share next to it. Click on that button and share it somewhere. There's a lot of places you can share it. You could share it to your personal Facebook page. You could share it in an Instagram story. You could share it in, like, if you have like a crafty message, like an email chain or a direct message with your crafty friends, send it there. Or finally, if there is a crafting Facebook group that you're part of and they are okay with live links being shared, feel free to share it there. Just make sure it follows the rules. Back here, let us know in the comments that you shared and it's just an extra entry. Now, finally, we would really love if you could give this video a thumbs up. That's not any extra entries or anything, but it does help the reach of the video, both now while it's live and also on replay. Mouthful, got through it all. Good morning to everyone just joining us. I had so much to say there that I kind of I didn't ignore the comments, but I'm not as I am not as conversational with them as I normally am. So before we flip around and get going, one thing I did want to mention: this is your final live with me in December. So I'm excited to be here. I have an oral surgery coming up next week. Routine, I'll be fine, but it does take a couple of weeks to recover. So I will be not live after this week. Heather is will be live next week. And then we will have a scrapbooking live, one more scrapbooking live this week as well. So we are kind of cutting December a little short just because we know that everybody gets busy with the holidays. So you've got me this week. You've got, I believe, Kathleen live on Thursday for scrapbooking. Then you have Heather live next week on Tuesday the 19th. And then we are going to take that next week off. So Tuesday the 26th, there will be no live, and there will also be no live on that first. We've got a few lives left with us in December, and then we'll be back in full force in January. Okay, so I need to get this flipped around if we are ever going to get this card made together. So let's get that flipped around and let's get going. There we go. Clicking the right video. Maybe, there we go. Okay. All right, so these are the products that I'm going to be featuring today. The main feature is going to be this Deco Sentiment Backdrop press plate. We will use a sentiment from the Favorite Things Sentiments set. I know this is one of the items that is a little bit lower in inventory, just to let you guys know. Then we are going to use the Ornate Trellis, but we are not going to use the press plate. We are just going to use the background die on this lovely midnight navy. Now the midnight navy throws off the exposure on my video camera, so I'm going to move it off here shortly, but I just wanted to show it to you because it is totally lovely. Kinnery worked really hard on getting just the perfect shade of navy. So I'm excited to use that, but we are going to use it a little bit later. We're going to do our BetterPress work first. So I'm just going to move those guys over. I'm going to grab my BetterPress machine real quick and get my die cut machine ready to go. So as mentioned, the main focus today is going to be the Deco Sentiment Backdrop. And then we're just going to add one of these fun sentiments from the Favorite Things Sentiments press plate to it. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you guys are excited to see this in action. I actually haven't used the Deco Sentiment Backdrop product yet, so I am really excited to use it today. So with that being said, quick overview of the BetterPress machine. You have your base part, which is called the chase. It has this magnetic platform, which is what your press plates stick to. And then underneath it, there are some shims actually that Spellbinders has included. Now, what they have mentioned is it's best to leave those shims in unless you start really getting into that more heavy duty paper, like the double weight paper, and then you may need to remove some. But for what I'm doing today, I am just going to be using the standard, I think this is the porcelain white cotton paper from Spellbinders. You can get all of this in our online shop. So we've kind of made a one-stop shopping place. You can get the BetterPress machine. You can get some of the, I think the porcelain colored papers, which is about the brightest white offered in these cotton papers. You can get these in different sizes. And then the inks, which I'm not using the inks today because I'm not doing a water-based technique. So I will be using our inks. Now, someone just asked, and where did it go? What I'm cleaning, I think it might have been Kathy, but don't quote me on that. What I'm cleaning everything with, it was Kathy. Currently, Kathy, and here's what we have been saying. I have just been cleaning everything with isopropyl alcohol. So far, so good. I haven't seen any issues in the plates. As you can see, I'm pretty sure this is detail black and it stains the magnetic plate a little bit. Not a big deal. You can order replacements of the magnetic plates if yours starts to get worn out or a little too dirty, but it works completely fine, even with a little bit of ink stains on it. Now, um, last week I received a lovely email from Louise, one of our friends here at Pinkfresh Studio, and she had contacted Spellbinders about the cleaning, and she got some info back from them that the Ranger, I think it's called the Ranger Archival Cleaner, works for cleaning the press plates and the magnetic platform as well. So I don't have that cleaner. I'm kind of in the camp of like my isopropyl alcohol is working, and so far I'm not seeing anything wrong with using it. So rather than purchasing something else, I'm just going to continue with this for now. But we haven't seen any long-term effects of isopropyl alcohol on these products. So just that's just like a cautionary, use at your own risk because we haven't had these products for very long. So just something to mention with that. Alrighty, there is, let's go ahead and grab our Deco Sentiment Backdrop, and I'm going to use it to line up just centered here on the magnetic thing. And I love having the little guidelines because it allows me to really center and make sure that I can center it up on the paper. I am going to use the coordinating die, so that isn't as important. But if you were going to better press this to a panel and keep it more stationary like and not die cut it, having the grid lines on the magnetic um, panel, the magnetic, whatever these are called, is really super beneficial. I love that. So then we're going to take the platen. That is the part that goes on the top. And we are going to tape our paper down to it. So as mentioned, this is just the standard porcelain cotton paper from Spellbinders that I'm using today. It is available in our online shop, as mentioned. And I'm just using the A2 sized pack. I didn't need to go any bigger because this fully fits in that A2 size. So I am just going to line it up in those fantastic little grid lines that they give you on the platen. I love that. They really truly thought of so much when it came to this machine and making it really, really easy to use. So then once we ink up the press plate, we'll just flip this over and run it through our die cut machine. Let's go ahead and ink this up. So today we are going to use olive colored ink from the Pinkfresh Studio die inks. So as mentioned, you can absolutely use the press plates with our die inks as long as you are not wanting to do a water-based technique. Obviously, die inks are water-based inks. So if you try to apply water to them, they are going to bleed and run a little bit. And it's just, it just doesn't stay crisp, basically. So if you're wanting to use a water-based technique, you can absolutely use our detail black ink. You'll just want to make sure that you let it set and dry first, or that's where those lovely Spellbinders inks come into play too. They have a good range of colors and they are water friendly. So if you wanted to use water-based techniques with something more than just black, those are definitely your best bet. And we do have all of those inks in our BetterPress or with our BetterPress products in our online shop. So I do think that this is a little bit easier to ink up with a cube, but I really need to re-ink my cubes. So I'm just going with my full size. And I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning here momentarily. All right, I feel like that is close up enough. So let's just take a minute and clean up where I kind of made a little bit of a mess here. And you'll notice it wipes right off. The dye inks don't stain. That's the detail black ink right there that kind of got my magnetic panel. So then go ahead, flip your pattern over and connect it to the magnets. And then I'm going to grab my die cut machine real quick. And of course, because it's black, it kind of throws off. So let's put it here on the side so that it's not throwing off my video exposure as much. And we are going to just run it through our die cut machine here real quick. Great. And let's see how that turned out. I haven't really felt the need to run the press plate back and forth through my die cut machine. So here we go. And look at how brilliant that turned out. I wish video captured how lovely it looks pressed into that cotton-based paper. I don't think video, even photography almost doesn't do it justice, but it is so amazing. And this olive green, it's kind of showcasing a little darker in the video, but it looks just absolutely lovely. Okay. Let's go ahead and just wipe this plate down because we are done with it. I have found that when you use our dye inks on the plates, they clean off really super easily. I don't even really need a cleaner. So keep that in mind. Okay, so there is that plate. I'm going to just set it aside and let it dry before I put it away. Now, about this design. So the cool thing about this design is that you can absolutely press the sentiment directly into it and not use the die. For instance, today, maybe that's the packaging there. Today, I'm going to use the You're the Best, and I'm going to put it right in the middle. Now, I could line it all up perfectly, press it directly in there, and call it good. I am going to do it a little bit differently just because I want to pop that sentiment up a little bit in the middle and give it a little bit of dimension and a little bit of shadowing. So I am actually going to press this onto a separate piece of the same paper so that I can die cut it with the coordinating die and pop it up and give this just a little bit of added dimension. Someone asked, does the ink stain the BetterPress? That ink that I just used, our dye ink, does not stain the BetterPress or the plates. What you're seeing right here, I think, is a combination of detail black and then also the BetterPress black ink that Spellbinders came out with. They're hybrid inks. And so I think that is what's caused a little bit of staining on my magnetic plate here. Okay, so I have a little strip of scrap cardstock here in that same paper. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to line the sentiment up. Line it up over here so that I don't use all of this up. Hopefully it will run through my machine. Okay, here. All right, I think we're going to call that good. Great. Let's go ahead and tape this right down. Here, just got to get these lined up again on the platen. Hi, Jane. Glad you're joining us. No worries that you're late. I've really only done like an intro, and I have better pressed one item, but of course this will be available for replay right after I end. Okay, so I think we're good. Oh, did I do this wrong? Nope, it'll still work. Okay, I realized I kind of did the wrong side, but I think in the end, this is still going to work. So let's go ahead and ink our sentiment up. I'm going to use Detail Black. And let's just see. how this goes. As I said, I think using the cubes is a little bit easier. You have a little bit more control. I just need to give my cubes a nice little spa day. All right, I feel like that's enough. So let's go through this process one more time. All right, I'm going to cut your pattern with those magnets. Grab my machine here and let's run it through. And I've never really ran it through where I've just focused on one side. So let's see how this works. Uh, if it's off or looks funky, I can just do it again. Not a big deal. And I will center it a little bit more on the paper, but I'm kind of frugal and I like to try to save paper as much as possible. So, but if it didn't work out well, but look at that, it ended up working out perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up as quickly as I possibly can. But as you can see, it did leave a little bit of staining behind. I'm going to grab my rubbing alcohol and see if that will buff it out a little bit. If it doesn't affect the performance of the machine. So I really don't worry about it all that much. Then I'm going to just give my plate here a nice good wash. I think I got the spa day reference from Heather. Oh, so I always feel like she said that about her inks, and so I have kind of taken that. I've taken that on as well from my friend Heather there. All right, I feel like that looks pretty darn clean. Yeah. Okay. So now let's remove all the things. Do a little desk cleanup, little desk reset. I could probably use those when die cutting. We are done with the BetterPress system. So I'm going to go ahead and set it aside. So we'll need to start. Okay, so we've got our two pieces here. Let's go ahead and let's get our let's get our Deco Sentiment Backdrop cut out here. We haven't used this yet, so I'm now ruining the packaging because I always ruin the packaging trying to remove it from the little sticky piece that they put on it. Okay. And we're just going to line it up here. Take the time to try to make sure it's nice and straight. I do kind of have to gear it up towards me to make sure I'm lining it up nice and straight here, nice and even. I think we're good. Just use these little leftover yellow tape pieces. Oh, isn't it crazy how quickly BetterPress cards come together, Emily? It is wild. They're very quick, unless you're doing watercolor, and then it takes me hours. I just want to make sure this looks nice and lined up. Okay, I'm going to run it through my machine and I'll be right back. Okay, and look at how fun that turned out. I think it's just super fun. Okay, so there is the first part of our card here. Let's see. So the frugal part of me thinks that there's more stuff I can cut out of this. So I'm going to keep these little pieces and set them aside. And I may die cut like extra sentiment layers out of these, something along those lines. We're going to get to the sentiment in just a moment, but I am going to go ahead and put this guy up. We are going to grab the Ornate Trellis die, and we're going to grab a piece of that Midnight Navy cardstock, just like one piece. Okay, let me grab my paper trimmer real quick. I can trim down a little piece to run this through. All right, let's grab this die here. Just mark it. I don't want it to be too much bigger on the die, just a little bit. So cut it there. Right. And then we'll cut it about. So there is our panel of Midnight Navy glitter cardstock. I think this is going to pack a nice punch. And then, of course, glitter cardstock is like paper gold. And I don't throw away pieces until they're very small. So I just go ahead and put it in the back of the packaging. And then I know I have it available when it's time. All right. Put that aside. Let's go ahead and die cut this trellis background. So the very first live that I did using these press plates, I showcased both the press plate and the die. And today I wanted to showcase just how lovely the background you can get just by using the die. You know, Deb, I probably should have used the Stargazer tools. I grabbed something different, actually. Hopefully you'll be just as excited, but this would absolutely be perfect for using with the Stargazer jewels. I'm hoping you'll also like the other option I grabbed. We'll get to those when I get to the jewel part. But I'm gonna go ahead and die cut this real quick. I'll be right back. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my cutting sandwich real quick, so just bear with me while I do that. I feel like this die might just need a tiny bit more pressure. So there. All right, let's see how it went here. Just toss that. You know what? I think it might have been a little bit too much pressure. I don't think I needed to add pressure, but that's okay. We'll just go with it this time around. It's doing a little cleanup here. I don't want to have these um, little triangle pieces all over the place, but look at how fun it turned out for the background. Hopefully it shows up navy. I know it looks a little dark. It's definitely navy. It's not black. And I think it's just going to look really fun with that Deco Sentiment backdrop over top of it. I have some extras in here that I want to get out, and so bear with me while I kind of smack them out. I've just found this to be one of the easiest ways to get those chads out of your die. I think now it's nice and clean. Also good, like if you're having a frustrating day, whacking your die on your glass mat, it is nice for getting out some of that like frustration or aggression. So we are done with that. Now let's go ahead and cut out our sentiment. I am just going to use my smaller machine for that today, rather than running it through my big machine. Definitely unnecessary on the big machine. So let's cut this guy out real quick. I can set that aside and use it for something else. I just need to find the die, which I think it's this guy. Makes the most sense. And let's get it lined up and cut it out. And I think we'll cut out a few additional layers of that so I can stack it up, give it a little bit of dimension. Nice and lined up here. Of course, it keeps moving on me. Yeah, so this color palette's a little bit bolder than what I normally use, but I thought the navy and the green was really classy together. And when you combine the classiness of and elegance of the BetterPress, it just seemed like a really good fit. Right. No, Waxen, that's like a good point. Those would be fun shaker bits, the little diamonds that cut out from the middle of those. That's a good repurpose. And look at how perfect that turned out. I love it. Okay, let's go ahead and cut out a couple more layers of that. That's where this extra piece that I cut away from the Deco Sentiment Backdrop is going to come in nice and handy. And just cut a couple layers from it so it doesn't go to waste. And so you'll notice that kind of I'm just doing all of the steps together with you today because BetterPress cards just come together so quickly. There, there's not as much process to it. We're not heat embossing, which sometimes takes a little bit longer. We're not foiling. We're not using multiple stencils to ink blend. So they come together a little bit quicker. So I just decided to leave all of the steps to do with you guys today so that live won't be cut too short. I did not have 2 card designs worked out for you. So there we go. All right, I think that's probably enough layers, considering it's a fairly nice weight of cardstock. Let's put this aside and let's go ahead and stack our sentiments real quick. So, okay. And it's sticking to me. I just made sure before going live that my glue was working because I'm so bad right now about putting my glue, like leaving it back here, and it's really close to my window. And right now, it's really cold. And so it just makes my glue clog up and annoys me. And I need to be better about putting it further away from the window. So, but I didn't want y'all to have to deal with me messing with it to make it work. So I made sure I did that before we went live today. So if you live in a cold climate and your Barely Arts glue is close to your window, this is your PSA to move it so that it doesn't clog up on you. All right, there we've got the start of our card here. All right, I guess it's time to just pretty much start assembling. So this is the part where we're gonna have to chat because um we've got some assembling to do and foam tape to right here. And so it's just going to take a little bit of time. Now I have one thing I did do is I have just already prepped an A2 card panel. But we're going to add some dimension to this card. I'm losing some more of those little inner pieces. We're going to add some dimension to this card. So I am going to pop up, I think, each layer with some foam tape. So it might take me a little bit to get all of these adhered with foam here. No worries if you're just joining late. This will absolutely be available for replay right after I end the live. So we're happy that you're here live now. I'm looking forward to chat with you. And if you want to see the first parts of the card coming together, it will be available right after I end the live stream. So you can always catch back up and watch the BetterPress parts and all that fun stuff. All right. So I think when I was die cutting, I was not watching the comments as much. It looks like we're talking a little bit about foiling. Now, something to mention, you can actually foil with these plates. I haven't attempted yet because the thing that we learned about them is if you accidentally foil the plate, so if you have your foil turned the wrong way when you're foiling and it foils your hot foil plate, well, then they don't work for BetterPress any longer. So that they just only become foil plates. So I have not been courageous enough yet to try it because I don't want to accidentally do that. So it's kind of a foil at your own risk kind of thing, because it is possible if you accidentally foil a plate, you can ruin it. Or you don't ruin it, you just turn it into a foiling plate only. So I haven't been brave enough to try it yet. I do want to try it, but of course I have that worry in my brain that I will make a mistake and foil it incorrectly, and then I no longer have a press plate. All right. We are getting real close to having all of the foam tape on the background here. To make sure. Nah, I think the edges are fine. Oh, Kathy, I agree. I have foiled literally everything I'm not supposed to foil with my foiling system. So that's what makes me a little cautious about doing it with the press plates, because I don't want to ruin my press plates. I want them to still work with the press machine. So I mean, I really do want to try foiling with them. I just have that like inner inner turmoil, like, oh, what if you accidentally foil it wrong? I just probably need to get over it. But oh, absolutely, Mona. If you don't, as long as you don't accidentally foil the press plate, it's fine. It's if you foil the press plate where the problems come into play. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere down our trellis background. Midnight navy trellis. So pretty. Oh, just look at how it glitters. Okay, so we've got one part done there. Now I am also going to pop this up with foam. This is going to be one of those hand deliver cards. Now, if you were wanting to if you were wanting to recreate this card and it's too much um, dimension for you, what? I actually think I'm going to grab my thicker. Give me 1 second. That'll just be easier. Anyway, what I was saying, if you wanted to recreate this card without all of the dimension, you certainly can do that. We kind of go a little overboard with dimension here at Pinkfresh. So I always have those non-machinable butterfly um, stamps on hand, like at all times, because I know that most of my cards can't just run through the mail normal. You absolutely can do this card with much less dimension if you would rather it be a little bit more post office friendly. And I think that these foam tape dimensions are close enough that these should work together. Okay, let's see. I feel like I want to add a little bit just to the middles to make them a little bit more secure that way as well. The glitter paper is so fun. It cuts so beautifully. I think you guys are going to love them once you receive your orders this week, or probably not this week, but in the next week or so. All right. So then we're going to use that. Oh, I think that's going to be so fun. It's kind of reminding me of like what's that brand, like Polo by Ralph Lauren, or maybe that's what it is. I feel like they use that navy and green a lot together, or they at least did back in the day. See here. Got it corrected. So, Catherine, um, we're not. That's an unknown, honestly. My assumption is because acetone is so uh potent and strong that it's possible it might damage that coating that's on the press plate if you use it to clean it off. Now, I don't know for sure. Maybe it wouldn't. But my assumption is it would damage, but I have not tried. So definitely something, if you do accidentally foil your press plate, you could always try it and see what the results are. But I have not tried it yet, so I can't speak to that. It was just a little off here. I might need to reinforce this glue foam tape with a little bit of liquid glue when all is said and done, but I think I'm not going to worry about it right this second. Kind of struggling to get this on here correctly. So just proof that we're human and we struggle with gluing things down as well. There we go. So much better. I will probably need to reinforce that, but I will do that later. I wish you guys could see. I know that the green just doesn't really show up that well on video, but I bet it will a little bit better in the photos. And I just think it's really fun. Okay, so then we have to add our sentiment because I popped that up or I did additional layers. I don't think that that really needs to, I don't think that needs foam. I think I can just go ahead and glue this down with liquid glue. Oh, that is true. This would be a really fun um little cake stand if you just kind of cut it in half. I agree, Bo. That's a really good way to look at it. All right, let's see here. Great. Using a little liquid glue to get this in place. Now, of course, you could have absolutely just pressed the sentiment directly into that area, and you wouldn't have needed to do any of the die cutting, but I like to add shadows and a little more added dimension to my card, so I thought that this was fun. Okay, so we are to the point of adding some bling to the card. Ship that there. Look at how fun that turned out. So I chose today for my bling, I already pulled some out. I chose the Glittering Mountain Ombre glitter drops today. And so these are a combo. They've got like black and gold and olive, and I think maybe one other color. I went ahead and focused on grabbing some of the ones that are just the more black and olive, because when I put them up to the midnight navy almost makes that black in there look navy. So I thought that this would be a really fun option for adding to today's card. And the Glittering Mountain Ombre glitter drops are also in stock. So it was also that aspect. So I may have actually picked all of the colors and everything for this card fully based on the fact that we were in stock. And so it was going to be the easiest thing to use. I do that, tend to do that. And so I'm going to just think the little sentiment pieces here with these jewels. And since they're mirroring, I need to make sure they match pretty closely to one another. The top and the bottom. And then I'm not sure I'm gonna like this idea, but we're gonna see what I think about adding these little tiny guys in place of the dots. It might be a little much. Let me see what I think. Yeah, it's a little much. So I think I'm going to skip that. It was worth a shot, but not loving it. I like the daintier dots that the BetterPress created with those. But you don't know until you try. So then I think I might just add one more drop just to each top there. And it's just kind of nice and flowy. I may And those little guys, let's do a little bit more. What the heck? A card can never have too much bling, right? There we go. I actually think that's really nice. Nice and lovely. We're going to call that good. I'm just going to set those aside so I don't knock them over. Let's get these glued down. Okay, I'm going to gingerly move this closer to me. Keep these cards as close to the area that I want them as possible. Right. They do kind of look like the attachments on a tuxedo. This is definitely lending itself to a more masculine card, which is kind of cool. I don't, I am not the best at masculine cards. I tend to lend myself or lean towards a more pastel, feminine color palette. But sometimes you need a card for guys, and it's always nice to have something you can grab. All right, can I do this one? Okay, get this last little section here. This is where I always get a little quiet because I'm concentrating on putting it in the right place. All right. And there is that. And I feel like I need to do a little movement on some of these to make them look a little more uniform. There we go. And that is it, my friends. So that is today's card. Let's hold it up a little closer so you can see that gorgeous ombre bling on here. To the light with this little lovely reflection of the olive green tone in the jewels. I just love how that turned out. That's super fun. It's glittery and shimmery, and it does throw off my video camera a little bit in terms of exposure. So I think that probably photographing it will capture some of the colors a little bit better. But I am really pleasantly surprised with how this card turned out, considering it's not my usual color palette. I think it turned out really fun. So let's go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera around back to me and we'll just go over the things that I went over at the beginning, just in case for all of the people that jumped in or jumped in late. So give me 1 second here. There we go. All right. So I'm so glad that you guys joined me today. I had so much fun creating this card. I think it kind of shows the colors a little bit better up here. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. Um, we're so thankful for all of your support that you guys have given us these past years. I did mention early in the beginning intro before we started creating that we are just doing a little bit of a condensed live schedule this month. So this is my last live of the year. So I will see you again in January next week. And oh, excuse me. And then this Thursday, we will have a scrapbooking live with Kathleen. Next Tuesday, you'll have Heather. And then we are done with lives for December. We're going to take the next week off after that. And then we'll be back here with you guys in the very beginning of January. So we hope that you guys, I'm going to tell you guys, I hope that you have a wonderful holiday because you're not going to see me until after. So I hope you have a great holiday season and New Year. I'll be around, but I'm just not going to be live. And but once again, we're thankful for you guys joining us each week. And we are excited to continue on doing our lives and chatting with you guys in 2024. All right, Heather has declared a winner of the $15 gift card code. Congratulations to Catherine France. Hopefully, I said that correctly. You have won today's $15 gift card code. All you have to do to claim your prize is send an email to me. My email is leah@pinkfreshstudio.com. There's no H on the end of my name, so it's just LEA@pinkfreshstudio.com. And I am traveling to Montana for a funeral. I'm still going to be working, but timing is going to be off. So please be patient with me. I will try to get to sending your prize out this week. If I don't, I will absolutely get to it early next week. Um, Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. As mentioned, one of the other reasons why I am done in December is I do have a little bit of, I just have a mouth surgery coming up. I'm going to be completely fine, but it is going to take a couple weeks to heal. So thank you guys so much for your well wishes and all of that. I appreciate it immensely. And you will be in good hands with Kathleen and Heather for our last couple of lives of the year. So join us this Thursday, final scrapbooking live of the year with Kathleen. There will be a $15 gift card code up for grabs in that live as well. So even if you're not a scrapbooker, I think you can absolutely find inspiration from all paper crafting. So, and they both Kathleen and Natalie do a lovely job. So don't forget, as mentioned at the beginning, we've got lots of release festivities going on. So there's the blog hop, there's the Instagram hop. There are 3 chances to win the entire December release and 20 chances to win $25 gift card codes. So you don't want to miss out on that. You can get all of that information on our card blog on our website, and then you can start the Instagram hop on our Instagram feed, which is just at Pinkfresh Studio. It's pretty easy to find. I think that's everything I have for you today. We're coming in a little bit under, but BetterPress cards just kind of go quicker. So we're going to let you go early today. I'm going to check and make sure that I am not missing any additional questions before I close this down. Just doing a little scroll back to make sure. All right. And once again, thank you guys so much for your well wishes for my upcoming procedure. I appreciate it. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. I'll see you in January. I'll see you in 2024. Other than that, have a great rest of your December. And let's have a great day, guys.